Hi, it's my first parasha video, so hopefully it won't be too awkward. This week's parasha is Vaigash, and it discusses, part of it discusses Joseph and meeting the brothers in Egypt. And many teachers refer specifically to the encounter with Judah and his show of remorse and taking on responsibility for the actions that he and his brothers did, and showing responsibility and correction of his actions by protecting Benjamin and being aware of the damage that it caused their father. This whole episode is usually stated as the reason for which Judah becomes the source of the name Jewish, Yehuda, Yehudi. But I would like to suggest that this goes even further. That the reason that Judah got the honor that he did by being the source of the name Jewish, as well as the lineage of King David, actually goes back to his mother, Leah. A few chapters ago, we were reading in the Bible how Yaakov meets Leah and Rachel, and Leah's eyes were soft. They were rakot, enei rakot. And if we fast forward a bit to the Pharaoh story, which we also read already, when Joseph interprets the dream, we get there the key phrase that the cows, their flesh was rach, their meat was weak. So Leah's eyes were weak, just like the bad 7 cows were weak. The bad 7 cows in Pharaoh's dream, they were lacking something that was a sign of 7 bad years. Just like for Leah, the eyes were a sign of something lacking, perhaps a trauma, perhaps a weakness or inability to fully show up in her divine force, something that it would appear that her sister did have. Between the 2 sisters, once they got married, Leah started having kids, and the first few kids, she named them after showing, look, I have a child, and this child, now for sure Jacob is going to love me because I have given him a child, and now this thing is going to happen because I have given him a child, and the 3rd child, this thing is good or bad because now I have a child. And it was only when Judah was born that for the first time Leah's psychological state and perception was broken. She was finally out of her traumatic experience, realizing her role within the family and as a parent and in relationship to all the trauma and trickery and lies that were going on within the family. And Judah was the first time that Leah said, you know what, I'm not going to participate. I'm going to break this cycle. I'm going to break this pattern. I'm not participating any longer in all this drama of, make him love me, make him want me. I'm doing this for him. I'm doing this for the family. I'm doing this for whatever reason. Judah was the first time she says, no, I'm stopping all this. This child is for God. This child, I am thanking God. It is thanks to God that I have this child. It is me offering my role as a mother for the first time in the name of God. And I believe that it was her teshuva, that it was her shift that ended up producing a different character for the first time within her children. And Judah was the first one to be able to receive that type of upbringing from his infancy, as opposed to the older siblings. And I believe that it was that shift that ended up causing Judah to mature differently. And therefore, he was able to do things differently later on. He was able, when the brothers were plotting against Joseph, Reuven wanted to save Judah, but it appears as if he was too scared or too weak or too soft to be able to do anything about it. He left. He didn't even stay for the lunch that they had after throwing Joseph into the pit. He didn't stay to monitor the situation. He left. His plan was just, I'm going to come back later and fix this later when no one knows and no one sees, and it's going to be the easiest way to fix the situation for me. But Judah had the strength to not only wish to fix the situation, but stay for the lunch with the brothers, so that when merchants passed by, Judah was able to notice the opportunity and say, okay, well, this is my opportunity to convince them. And he was able to convince the brothers, let's not kill Joseph, let's sell him to slavery. And in essence, Judah, to start with, was the brother that saved Joseph's life and had put this whole dream prophecy into place. So Judah, to start with, was more responsible than we might believe to think that he was. And it shows also later on when he meets Joseph and when he goes back to speak to Jacob and bring everyone back down to Egypt, that he is the one. Reuven also tries to rescue the situation and tell Jacob, like, you can kill my 2 children, just, like, if anything happens to Benjamin, going all good intentions, but doing it all wrongly. And Judah is the one that knows how to speak to Jacob's heart, how to be authentic, how to explain the whole story, not hide any details, not be mischievous, and just tell the truth as it is. And he did that both with Jacob needing to bring Benjamin down and with Joseph when he approached Joseph to speak to him one-on-one and explain to him everything that was happening. And so Judah had received a different type of upbringing from his mother because of her repentance. She was able to teach him how to be authentic, how to be real, how to show up in the world for others. And it was therefore easier for him to then take that role and move the entire family into more positive directions and help resolve conflicts that they were not able to resolve themselves. And that is my take on it. Shabbat Shalom.